This is our problem solving flipped video. So make sure that you have your recording sheet available, and if you have any questions, please ask your teacher. Life is a word problem. So usually life sometimes has word problems in it. So let's figure out how to solve problems. You can use the acronym of BUCK to remember how to break down a problem. BUCK means box the question, underline the info needed, circle the vocabulary, and knock out unneeded info. So if I read this problem, Mrs. Drake is making 14 Christmas aprons to give as gifts. She has 4 different fabrics and uses 13 yards of each one. She also uses 19 yards of ribbon. How many yards of supplies did Miss Drake use to make the aprons? Also, you need to write your question as a sentence. So, how many yards of supplies did Miss Drake use to make the aprons? You could say, Mrs. Drake used blank yards to make the aprons. That's going to go away, but at least you know how to write your sentence in a statement that answers this question. Next, you're going to underline the info needed. So I know that she used 4 different fabrics and used 13 yards of each one. She also used 19 yards of ribbon. Each one. So that's the crucial part. She had 14 different fabrics and used 13 yards of each one. So 13 yards of the 4 different fabrics. You don't need the information here that says that she's making 14 Christmas aprons because we're talking about how much fabric did she use to make all 14. So that's information you don't need. So there's a model here, but I'm also going to show you the strip diagram. With a strip diagram, I know that she used 4 different fabrics. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 13 yards of each one. So I'm going to do 13, 13, 13, and 13. This is how you know it's multiplication, because you do not know what it equals. You don't know what it equals. So in addition and multiplication, you're trying to figure out what it equals. In multiplication and division, you know what it equals, but you don't know how many pieces there are. So I can easily do 13 times 4. And that's 52. Now, she also used 19 yards of ribbon. So that's step 1, is equal groups put together. That means multiplication. This is a 2-step problem. So step 2 is going to take the 52 in my strip diagram, and 52 is going to be larger, and add it to 19. And then I want to know, what does that equal? So my next step is sum and some more, because I have some and I have some more. So 52 plus 19 is 71. So that is my answer to this problem. So I would say Mrs. Drake used 71 yards of supplies to make the aprons. Period. I already did all of those steps. So now you can solve problem number 1 on your recording sheet. I'm going to move on to problem number 2. Tyler was getting ready for a science experiment. He had 7 cups that had 16 ounces of oil in each cup. He had to put all the oil in 4 beakers. How much oil was in the beakers? So, box the question. How much oil was in the beakers? Our sentence that answer that question would be, there was blank oil in each beaker. period. Then I'm going to underline the information that I need. He was getting ready for a science experiment. He had 7 cups that had 16 ounces of oil in each cup. He had to put all the oil in 4 beakers. So there were 7 cups with 16 ounces in each cup. Then he had to split that up. So this is going to be a 2-step problem, I can already tell. So first, I'm going to do the 16, and he had to put the oil in all of the beakers. And he had 7 cups that had 16 ounces of oil in each. So that's going to be a strip diagram. So I'm going to put 16 in each one of these because, sorry, I need more layers in my strip diagram. And I'm going to skip on to the next slide. So I'm going to do a strip diagram because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do 7 in my strip diagram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I know that I'm going to put 16 ounces in each cup. 16, 16, 16. So I don't know what it equals. That means multiplication. So I'm going to do the 7 cups that have 16 ounces of oil in each cup. So I'm going to do 16 times the 7. That's going to equal 82. Sorry, I'm going to delete all of this off the slide. So that equals 82. I like to label mine, so I'm going to say that this is 82 ounces. So I have 82 ounces. That's step 1. Step 2 is he had to put all of these 82 ounces in 4 beakers. So I'm going to draw another strip diagram. This is where I'm going to show you division. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know that I have 82. I do not know how much goes in each box. That's how you know it's division. So first step, I had to put equal groups put together. Second step, I'm going to do equal groups take apart. So I'm going to do 82, and I'm going to divide that by 4. So 4 goes into 82, 2 times 4 times 2, 8, subtract, bring down my 2, that does not work. So I'm going to say 0 times, 4 times 0 is 4, or 0, sorry, 2. So I have a 20 with a remainder of 2. So how much oil was in each of the beakers? It was 20 ounces. And then I had 2 ounces left over. So my answer would be 20 ounces was in each one of the beakers equally. So now you can work on problem number 2 on your recording sheet. Problem number 3. In 6 days, Julia made 73 rubber band bracelets. She shared them with herself, and 4 friends. If each child got the same number of bracelets, how many bracelets were left over? This is one of those good ones where you have a leftover remainder, and sometimes it asks you that. Box the question.
Who are you talking to?
Then I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to circle the vocabulary. I'm going to underline the information that's needed. I'm going to box out the information that I don't need. And now I've got my question left over. So Julia made 73 rubber band bracelets. She shared them with herself and 4 friends. That's the key, herself and 4 friends. So that means 73 divided by 5 people. So again, if I do a strip diagram, I know that it equals 73. I do not know how much goes in each box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. I don't know what goes in there, so I have to do some division. Five goes into 23, 4, 5 times 4 is 20, so I have a remainder of 3. So I know that 14 bracelets is what each girl gets, but it didn't ask me that. It said I'm answering this question of how many bracelets were left over. There were blank bracelets left over. And that answer is 3. There were 3 bracelets left over. You can solve problem number 3 on your recording sheet. Here's a little pause in our video. What wears a jacket but no pants? A book. Very funny. So, a book wears a jacket with no pants. Solve the rest of your problems using your recording sheet, and don't forget to do a strip diagram. Sometimes you need to do 2 strip diagrams with multiplication, division, and addition. We didn't really go over the subtraction one, but you should be able to figure that out. And if you have any questions, you can always come back and ask.